Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Welcome to the Ramadan healing series where we reconnect with truth, clarity, and the prophetic way of protecting our hearts, protecting our homes, and our spiritual well being. In today's topic, this is the one that circulates often in Muslim communities, especially in conversations about jinn, how to protect ourselves from them, and the unseen harm. This incident, which I'm going to talk to you about, is a well known, authentic narration found in Sahih Muslim, Hadith 5558, which is a detailed event that occurred around the time of Battle of Tabuk. It involves a young companion, a Sahabi who had recently married, and it teaches lessons about the presence of jinn in Medina, patience, and the danger of acting out of anger. So, the return from war, the Sahabi, he returned and he was recently married. He went out with Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam on this expedition, and some narrations they indicate this was around the time of the Battle of Tabuk. Um, upon returning, he was eager to see his wife, and the scene at his house was that the companion approached his home. He found his wife standing outside the door, and seeing that she's outside and not inside, he felt jealousy or ghaira, which he felt the need to protect her, and he was angry that why is she outside, and she said that I cannot go inside. He grabbed his spear, to attack, but then she said, keep your spear away and don't attack me. There is something in the house which scared me and it made me to come out. So the companion entered the house, and his horror, he found a huge snake coiled on their bed. So the companion immediately attacked the snake with his spear, piercing it, and the snake struggled and attacked him back. Um, Nobody knows that which of them died first, the young man or the snake. The Prophet ﷺ, when he heard the story, his reaction was, uh, to request everybody around him to supplicate to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the Prophet ﷺ told them to ask for forgiveness for your companion. And the Prophet ﷺ then explained that there are jinns in Medina, and some of them have accepted Islam. And he advised them that when you see a snake, don't kill it right away. Warn it for 3 days. And if it appears again, then they should kill it, as it could be a devil, and the devil can take different shapes. The key lessons in this story are that we should always, act rationally, not out of anger, not out of suspicion. It indicates that jinns do exist and they can change their forms. They can take different forms: snakes, cats, dogs. And the Prophet ﷺ provided guidance on how to deal with snakes. Um, Especially when they're found in homes, it's always recommended to give them a warning of 3 days before killing them, before any lethal action. And the companion, having died while defending his home against a jinn shortly after returning from a war, is regarded as having died in a virtuous state. And like many jinn stories in our folklore, there's another about Sa'd ibn Ubaidah, the leader of Khazraj tribe. This is a weak narration, and there's no authentic hadith found in Bukhari or Muslim or Abu Dawud or any other major collections that report this Sa'ad bin Ubaidah being killed by a jinn in this story. But however, I have come up with this story just to, tell you the etiquettes of urinating near a tree or a hole where the jinns could be inhabited. but we know that life and death is only in the hands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It is dramatic, it's frightening, and it's repeated. The story is repeated everywhere. But what we have to do is, just listen to the story and take the lessons out of it. So, as I said, that the chains of narrations are weak, and the scholars classify it as a folklore. It is not a Sahih Hadith. So in Sunan Abi Dawud, the Prophet ﷺ has said a Sahih Hadith about prohibiting and urinating in burrows or holes or trees because such places are believed to be the homes of Jinn. This is Sahih and this is accepted, and this is the only authentic teaching which is connected to this story. So it teaches us about the adab and not fear. It teaches us awareness, not to be superstitious, and but importantly, it does not mention anyone being harmed or killed. But sometimes the folklore stories, they have these stories in them, and you just have to listen to them as stories. So Sa'ad ibn Ubaidah went to relieve himself in a place inhabited by jinn, and later he was found dead. And the voices were heard saying, "We have killed the leader of Khazraj, Sa'ad ibn Ubaidah, and we struck him with an arrow, and we did not miss his heart." So the story appears in many different books: Al Mustadrak of Al Hakim, Musannaf Abdul Razak or Razak, Al Muajjam Al Tabarani, Majma al Zawaid, and some of the biographical works, but every chain is very weak. So the critics of hadith, they have classified it as unverified and daif hadith. So it's treated as daif, and we don't build beliefs around it because, of course, we believe that life and death is in the hands of Allah subhanahu wa taala. And the only lesson which we seek from it is that the protection, the adab, and the etiquettes of uh, you know relieving yourself in places which could be inhabited by jinns, especially people going on camping in mountains, and they put out tents, they forget to recite du'as before entering restroom, keeping your adhkar consistent, maintaining the spiritual hygiene the same way you maintain your physical hygiene. There are sahih hadiths about uh, tahara, about how to do tahara, about istinja, using water when you relieve yourself. And this is not about tahara, purification of ghusl, physical purification, or if you don't have access to water, using sand. And I'm not here to scare you all, saying that Sa'ad ibn Ubaidah was killed by a jinn or whatever. But yes, sometimes when we use or relieve ourselves in places where jinns can, that could be their homes. Sometimes we buy new houses or we rent new houses and we go in there, start living there without reciting adhan in every corner of the house. We don't take precaution when we are killing um, any predator, that could be a jinn. We don't take precaution when we throw clothes from a distance, just like throwing clothes from the stairs down. We don't know. We don't take precaution when we throw hot water in the sewers. We don't take precaution when we throw hot water in the sinks. There is a Sahih story of a girl who was actually just instructing the people who were giving ghusl to the dead body, and she just said to the people giving ghusl to the dead body, "Why don't you use sidr water?" That's just it's also called Christ thorn in English, and it's a herb which the jinns do not like, and they don't like its water. They don't want to stay there. And when those people said, "Oh yeah, that's a good idea. Why don't we give ghusl to the corpse with the water of sidr leaves?" She didn't know that in the sewers of their toilet where they were giving the bath, there were jinns residing in there, and they did not like the idea. And she had not said her adhkar, although she is a very pious lady. She reads Quran and she is a hafidah, but she did not recite her adhkar, that morning and evening adhkar, that day. And so the jinns were so angry from it that they attacked her and possessed her. And when she came for ruqya, she was, the jinn revealed, um, using her body, saying, the proper exorcism through which they talk, saying that, um, who was she to tell those people, because we had to drink water from the corpse ghusl, and when it's sidr, we cannot drink that water. So a lot of ahadiths about sidr, taking shower from sidr leaves after uh, your menstruation cycle finishes, or if you feel that a child has been afflicted with evil eye. This is Sahih. This can be done. It is liked, and it's from Sunnah. So I I don't want the video to be long. I think I'm gonna stop here and see you in the next videos. Assalamu